And if people are really going to talk about Lawson Bates, I get I don't ever want to like poke someone's sexuality, but I get some serious gay vibes from him. And I'm pretty sure his dad is gay. Oh, or is that the Chrisleys? No, that's the Chrisleys.
Hi beautiful people, welcome back. Hope everybody is doing fantastic wherever you are in this world. Happy Monday. Hope everybody is having a good day so far. Before I get into this video, you guys, my thoughts and prayers go out to everybody that was affected in Tennessee and in Rhode Island. If you would like to help or want to know how to help, I will actually leave a link in here or down in the description so you can go on and see what's needed for these people in Tennessee. And if you can, feel free, you're not obligated to, but that's the most important thing now. These people in your thoughts and prayers, because my goodness, they have really lost a lot. Disclaimer, please do not take what I say as fact. Feel free to do your own research and come to your own conclusion. Since Katie has gotten her notification or notice that she is being sued by Steve McRae and also being basically forewarned that Todd Chrisley will be suing her, Katie's joy seems to be in the Twitter sphere and tweeting up a storm, and she's been tweeting for weeks. Recently, she put this tweet up stating that, I think this is in regard to actually Steve McRae's lawsuit, where she posted, "Can't wait to file my counterclaims. The coming weeks are gonna be phenomenal." Okay, Katie. And you guys, Katie, from I think it was last week, she actually started putting these tweets out, which, you know, it truly baffles my mind in regard to, if you are facing a lawsuit, I would be beside myself. I would do anything and everything according to what is supposed to be done. And the most part is just to shut my mouth, do whatever I need to do, not letting my left hand know what my right hand is doing. But Katie seems to be putting everything out on her Twitter. It is like, I just sit back and I'm like, wow, I can't believe it. I truly cannot believe it. So when she found out about the Todd Chrisley situation, and she seems to think that by shaming them in regard to with their lawsuits involving taxes, I don't know, one would think that Katie had actually learned from her previous lawsuit with Tati, but unfortunately not, because the same thing she did with the Tati lawsuit, she's doing it with these lawsuits. And like I say, she feels that she's shaming the Chrisleys by bringing up what's their legal situation. And she actually tweeted this the other day, which was like, can you not grow up? She says, "Good luck at court tomorrow. I heard the judge is ruling on the evidentiary hearing, then trial will be set. Deflection doesn't work with me. Your real problem is a 12 count indictment you are facing by the feds, who say you might serve 30 years. In my opinion, your PR spin game is transparent. Reminder, extortion is a felony. Also, your continued defamation of me won't help you get me to do anything." Okay, Katie. Then she says, "Not Todd Chrisley claiming to have screenshots of me. We already know that the haters will go to any length possible to provide fake evidence and craft fake screenshots. My goodness, these people do not quit." I'm going to insert some of the screenshots that Todd was referencing. And is she going to go now and continue to use these excuses of fake screenshots? And you know what, at the end of the day, you guys, all this can be verified. And for this person that actually put out these screenshots, I'm sure will verify that these screenshots are actually real, in my opinion. So she's going to start using the same things over and over and over again, that the haters want her to go down and the haters are providing false information. It all gets old, you know. But anyway, let's move on. Then she posts, I will be putting out a video in response to Todd Chrisley's continued attacks on my reporting and my business. I have no interest in engaging in public mudsliding. I will share the facts of what is happening and end the misinformation. There has been no lawsuit filed. Exactly. No lawsuit has been filed yet. Katie says that she will not sit for a deposition. No. If court says that she has to sit for a deposition, Katie will sit for a deposition. And once again, you guys, I am going to leave the part of Chrisley's Confessions podcast where he actually addresses Katie Joy Paulson, and I will actually leave that at the end of the video if you are interested in listening to that. And in that podcast, he actually states she will sit for a deposition and she will be sued by Todd Chrisley. So, in my opinion, Katie Joy has absolutely zero self-control. She, as I stated previously, has been tweeting up a storm. Katie has not stopped tweeting. If it's in regard to Todd Chrisley or if it's in regard to Steve McClay. And she's putting out so much, which is so confusing to me. It's like, what the hell are you doing? Does she not listen to her attorneys? Or is she just going off on what she feels? Because she always says that she reads so many legal documents. So all of a sudden, because she reads so many legal documents, that now you're just a law student or you were automatically a lawyer. And then that didn't last long, because Katie went and she did a YouTube video where she was talking about how her stalkers went after her kid and her husband, and she actually added this part to that video. But let's just take a look at that.
Noise that's going on around me of a reality star that's threatening to sue me, which I'm not going to respond to other than to say that if there's something that happens, we will handle it. My lawyers will deal with the issues. We did receive a letter from this person, and we responded and said we would cooperate with whatever they want in regards to what their requests were. And we'll see what happens. I have zero interest in getting into the back and forth on social media or, arguing with this person about what is happening. And I'm not going to feed into the drama around it because it doesn't help. And if a legal case is going to happen, I'm not going to compromise anything.
So you heard, she clearly said that she would cooperate, but clearly, that did not last long, because she went on again and she made another YouTube video. And here are a few things that we're going to discuss from that video that she made. But first, listen to the arrogance or sarcasm, whatever you want to call it.
Watch any good podcasts? Listen to any good podcasts lately? I know. I didn't know Lindsay when I first started reporting on the Chrisleys. I did not know Lindsay until very end of August of 2019.
This is true, but this is also what she had to say about Lindsay.
So you guys, can I admit something? I had no idea that Lindsay Chrisley was related to Todd Chrisley, and I didn't realize that's the annoying human being that's on the podcast with Kale Lowry. I had no idea. Literally had no idea. And I wouldn't even say that we became friends until well into 2020. We interacted and talked, and I did interview her once.
And this was after she interviewed Lindsay.
I have so many things in the fire right now, and I spent all day actually talking to Lindsay Chrisley, and I have so much in my head right now because I need to sort through all of the things that Lindsay and I talked about today, and I have to figure out how to deliver this to you because I feel like I've learned so much about Todd Chrisley, and I just need to sort through how I'm going to deliver all of this to you in a way that is respectful to the relationship I've now established with Lindsay. But I just want to say that I'm impressed every single day that my reach on YouTube can get to people that matter in a case, because Lindsay actually reached out to me after someone connected to her shared my coverage of her on my YouTube channel and on my Pathios blog, and she said that she was like really grateful. And so we chatted almost all afternoon, and she's a really, really, really sweet person. I just need to figure out how to deliver the story to you. And beyond that, that's all I've done for Lindsay.
And beyond that, that is all I had done for Lindsay. What does that mean? What?
Have I done reports on the Chrisleys? Yes.
And this is what you had to say about Todd Chrisley.
Todd Chrisley is 100% gay.
Now, Katie, where is it stated publicly that Todd Chrisley is 100% gay? So in this next clip I'm going to play for you, I think she realized that this clip is going to come out, so she's finding an excuse on what she said about Todd Chrisley being 100% gay.
That all came from his son. His son made a claim that he was gay, and he spoke to, I don't know if it was Radar Online or some outlet, and it was put out in 2016 or 2017. So his son is the one that started that rumor, and me repeating that and saying this is what his son said, and then saying, well, if that's true, I don't know that that's questioning his sexuality. That's just literally saying, well, this is what his son said. I for sure have no relevant information to offer, but Mr. Chrisley would like to use this single count lawsuit where he's suing him for showing someone taxes, which again, I have not seen, to attempt to gain access to every communication I've ever had with anyone related to his family that has been influenced my reporting. And he seems to believe wrongly that Lindsay Chrisley feeds me information which then leads me to report on his family.
Now, if you watch the Chrisley Confessions podcast, Todd Chrisley has a totally different story. He says he has evidence. He says that he knows that Lindsay Chrisley is her source, and also that allegedly she uses 2 phones. So
if you look at my channel, you will notice that I don't report on the Chrisleys very frequently. The last 2 videos I've done have been related to 1, a defamation lawsuit, and 2, a criminal update on his court case related to the indictment.
And not to mention, Katie has privated or actually gotten rid of quite a few Chrisley videos off her channel.
I don't frequently pay attention as much to what's happening with the Chrisleys. I don't actively cover the drama that happens in the family. Maybe a couple years ago I did some, but not much at all anymore.
Yeah, right, Katie. You have directed people to watch Lindsay's podcast. You have retweeted a statement in regard to what Lindsay is going through with her family. You also retweeted an affidavit that Lindsay put out.
I don't have anything personally against these people. I don't dislike them. I don't use Lindsay as a mouthpiece. Lindsay is for sure doesn't need a mouthpiece.
Katie, Lindsay surely didn't need a mouthpiece, but you were also willing to go to battle for her. And listen to this clip, you guys.
I've shown you the website of Wave Podcast Network, and it's basically a skeleton of a phone number and an email address. That's it. I looked up Susie's background on LinkedIn. I looked up her husband's background on LinkedIn. I couldn't find much of anything. I also was doing some digging to figure out if this is a pattern of scamming. Susie does have a bankruptcy from 2003 and 2004 with her first marriage. That's right, you guys. She was married once before. I had no idea. Then there's this whole issue of she's married to Adam Butler, and I can't find anything related to him on a personal level. So all their filings, well, one thing is in his name. He did register Wave Pod or the Butler Did It Productions is registered in Adam Butler's name in the state of California, but everything else is in Susie's name. Why? I feel like they're hiding something. I feel like there's something shady going on, and I feel like they're trying to take the hard work, the clout, and everything that Kale and Lindsay brought. They're pissed off that they're leaving. They tried to not pay them for things, allegedly, and now they've replaced the podcast with something else. I wonder if they replaced it with brain candy. I suggest if you want this back, tag her on Twitter. She's at Susie_Meester. You can also find her on Instagram with the same tag. Ask her, send her a message, tag her on Twitter, comment on her messages or comment on her photos on Instagram. Ask her why she's done these things and why she hasn't settled. All right, you guys, tell me what your thoughts are. Will you reach out to Susie and ask her what's up?
So let's take a look at what she had to say about her friend Lindsay Chrisley.
Unless you are living under a rock, you should know something, but my platform is really small compared to Lindsay's. Lindsay is on a podcast with Kaylin Lowry from Teen Mom. Teen Mom, you know, it has millions of viewers. And Teen Mom, Kaylin, who has, I don't even know, a few million, 4 million people on Instagram. So this idea that I, as a smaller creator, would be able to influence anything in this it's just not even accurate. The idea that I'm a mouthpiece for someone who has a large platform on 2 separate podcasts and an Instagram with over 600,000 followers when I have a Instagram of only 47,000 followers and a channel with only 177,000 subscribers, it doesn't make sense. I report and then I give you information and then I use public records and what happens on public platforms from public statements that are made by members of the family, and that's all it is. There's nothing more I can say.
Now, Katie, where is it stated publicly that Todd Chrisley is 100% gay? That you stated with conviction in that clip? Because she put out a statement, and this is what it says. My lawyers are handling everything. Mr. and Mrs. Chrisley should focus on the upcoming hearing on August 13. A judge is ruling on the evidence suppression they requested. Federal criminal cases take precedence to civil cases. Reporting on his criminal case is not against the law. Freedom of speech and the press allows for reporting on public figures. I have not defamed the Chrisleys. Katie, by you just stating that Todd Chrisley is 100% gay, I think that's as defamation. Public records from their criminal case were used to report. Reading what the US government alleges is not defamation. Agreed. Demanding I give up my private communication with his daughter, which is not relevant to my reporting of public documents, is a violation of my freedom of speech and of the press. Lindsay Chrisley has never provided me any information about their criminal case. The Chrisleys are innocent until proven guilty. They are both facing up to 30 years in prison, according to the US government. Filing a civil lawsuit while in the middle of a criminal case will end up with the case being tabled until his criminal case is resolved. Thank you. 100% agreed, Katie. But that still does not take away from you putting it out. And as you say, let me play this little bit for you.
I'm impressed every single day that my reach on YouTube can get to people that matter in a case.
So, by you stating that, like you said, you get to so many people. So, how many people actually believe you when you said on your YouTube channel that this man is 100% gay? Is that not defamation?
But I will say this, utilizing or misusing a subpoena or a court case to attempt to gain access to protected records and source information by a journalist or a reporter, whatever you want to call me, is not okay and threatens my speech as a reporter.
Utilizing or misusing such a career like saying that you're a reporter or journalist without having credentials to back you up. To me, to get out of a lawsuit or not give up information is not okay, in my opinion.
My attorney did send a letter, a cease and desist, to Mr. Chrisley and asked him to remove his podcasts, which he hasn't.
Like you didn't when Tati sent you your first cease and desist.
To no longer speak about me, which he hasn't.
Again, when you got your second cease and desist from Tati, you also didn't listen. When they told you not to speak about them, you didn't listen. And how does the saying goes? What is done with you shall be done to you.
And for some reason, Mr. Chrisley still thinks that based on his current status and the way that he's conducting himself in the public sphere related to me is going to get me to do a deposition for him in a case that I have nothing to offer him about.
If the court says that you will sit for a deposition, then you will sit for a deposition. But at this time, everything is just left to be seen.
Asking a reporter for all their sources related to anyone they've ever spoken to about a subject.
You are a YouTuber.
I'm not going to get in the middle of a dispute between a father and a daughter.
Too late for that.
Lindsay's not my mouthpiece.
It's all right, Katie. She isn't. She hasn't spoken up for you. She hasn't even spoken or taken up for you publicly. In my opinion, she seems to have more of a dad's back than she will have your back. Because in the last podcast, she sends a message via her mother to her brother to let her dad know that you actually threatened to go to the FBI about him, and that he actually has a false or fake email account that is threatening you. Seriously?
I don't work for anyone but myself, and as a reporter,
you, again, Katie, in my humble opinion, you are not a journalist. You are a YouTuber.
As a reporter, I would hope you understand that no one should be forced to provide or hand over sources or intimidated or threatened in order to do so.
You are not a reporter. Who is going to break it to this woman?
We should be protected by other reporters, and no reporter should want anyone to be forced to give up sources. It's a horrible precedent. If you are a reporter and someone demands your sources, you shouldn't have to give up anything. You're protected under the freedom of press. Female reporters are harassed at much higher levels than male reporters, simply based on our gender and our perceived weakness.
There you go again, lumping yourself in with the best of the best. But Katie, you do not belong there. You are not a journalist. You are not a reporter. This is a slap in the face to those real journalists, to those real reporters, because you don't come close to them, Katie. You truly don't. You are a gossiper. You are somebody that just gives your opinion, your input to what's going on in reality television. You don't have the credentials, Katie.
And the increased hostility against reporters that are female has gotten exponentially worse since the pandemic has happened. If you support the freedom of the press and freedom of speech, you should not support anyone utilizing a platform to threaten or intimidate a female reporter to hand over protected and private information that is not relevant or even admissible or related to their lawsuit.
Let the court be the judge of that. And let's go back. And how can we forget with your last lawsuit? You ended up giving up your source. And your excuse was you were manipulated. So I don't have very high expectations for anything turning out differently. So let's just wait and see what happens. Because in my opinion, we're going to get the same outcome. She's going to say she was being manipulated by Lindsay, in my opinion. And I don't see it any other way. Maybe there is. Just my opinion.
Simply because they have a power to do so. And if you cheer on someone that's doing them while they
belittle, berate, and degrade the person while also defaming them, it says more about you than it does about me.
How were you defamed, KJ? How?
I wish the Chrisleys the best of luck with their lawsuits and with their criminal case. And if they attempt to subpoena me, we will fight the subpoena. We will not sit for any depositions, and I will not hand over anything to the Chrisleys unless a court orders it.
Okay, you guys, so we'll just have to sit back and wait and see what unfolds. So you guys, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I apologize for another long video. You know what? There is so much going on with this woman. It just totally blows my mind. She has no self-control. She does not listen very well. It's either her way or the highway. In my opinion, that's the way I see it. Katie can't keep her mouth shut. It's true, in my opinion, Katie really needs friends. She really needs somebody to unload this all on. It's not healthy. It truly is not healthy. So all I can say is we just got to sit back and wait for this train wreck to happen once again. And I'm not being mean by saying that, but it's just how everything unfolds with Katie Joy. She can't keep her mouth shut. She can't just keep things where they're supposed to be, behind the scenes, privately. She always needs to bring attention to herself. I've never seen somebody cry out for attention like this. But you guys, that's just what it is. Thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate you guys. Please be safe out there. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Don't forget to wear your mask, and please be kind to one another. So you guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
We are, regardless of what you may read on social media, folks, which I'm not going to engage in any longer because I'm just not going to give it my time. The lawsuit that I am filing against Katie Joy is absolutely 100% happening. The narrative has been switched. No one has ever accused Katie Joy or said Katie Joy was having any kind of relationship with Josh Waits. Again, she wants to take what has been said about Lindsay and then convert it over to her, because in her mind, she's actually becoming Lindsay. I don't know if she's morphing into that or whatever, or trying to. But with that being said, no one ever said that. She clearly should listen to an attorney that has the legal experience to guide her, because the things that she says are just absolutely crazy. I mean, yes, she's going to be deposed. Now, she can sit and put on Twitter, I don't give a shit if she tweets till the cows come home that she's not going to be deposed. She's being deposed. We will have her deposition notice certified in the federal court of her home state, and my folks are going there, and I'm going to that deposition as well. I will sit across the table from her, and she will be deposed. So I don't care how much rantings and ravings that she says on her little thing that she does, YouTube or whatever it's called. I don't care what she says. She's going to be deposed. I don't care what she says about we're trying to blackmail and extort her. No, we're not. It's been done through the attorneys. The attorneys have made their list of things that they need from her. If she chooses not to give those things, that's fine. We'll get them when the lawsuit's filed, and then we go to discovery. That's how it works. We will file our lawsuit. She will have 30 days, 45 days to respond to it with her countersuit, which we fully anticipate, which should be fun. That she's going to sue me for defaming me. But that'll happen 30 to 45 days later. After that, then we start discovery. We will then depose her in that lawsuit. Now, keep in mind, I've got a lawsuit against Josh Waits, and we're bringing her in. We are going to depose her because she was involved in slandering me about things that were not true. We have gone through every video and every tweet. Thank God for these folks at Reddit, because they copied everything. They have turned all this stuff over. They've created some kind of Reddit box. It's been turned over to our attorneys. We've gone through all of this, and I can't tell you how many things that she has reported with, and I have a source. I have verified this. Nowhere in public documents does it say that I kept my children from their mother. As a matter of fact, if she had done her research, she would know that my two oldest children's mother owes me over $1 million in back child support, and she's never paid it. Nor did she ever exercise her visitation. So you can't keep somebody from someone who doesn't want to show up. So she didn't find that in public documents, folks. She didn't find in public documents where I am gay. She didn't find that there. She speculated that, folks. She put it in a video. It's out there, just like she said it about so many other people. This woman talks because she has no one to talk to. She lives and thrives off of sitting in front of that computer because she thinks it makes her famous. It doesn't. You know, when she says that she's a journalist, let's go back to all the videos that Reddit has put out here for us. 1 minute she's a journalist, 1 minute she's a private citizen. 1 minute she's a blogger, 1 minute she's a commentator. Pick a hat and wear it. But regardless of that, she is not immune to litigation. She can be sued. Now, I mean, in her mind, she thinks all she wants to run off of is this 12-count indictment, That is going to go to court. We're going to see where that goes. We're sitting on evidence that is going to be shocking. Just like we have blown the whole Georgia Department of Revenue apart with the evidence that we had there. The evidence that we're sitting on, we didn't turn over every recording. We're sitting on major recordings. But we're going to wait until the timing is right for those recordings to come out. So stop hanging your hat thinking you're shaming me about this indictment and about 12 counts and this, that, and the other. I'm not running from that, Katie. Don't care what you say about that because you have no facts. You don't know what we know. But what you don't know is what we know. That's what you need to be worried about because at the end of the day, all of those statements you've made and the communications that you've had via text and via direct message and message on Twitter and using all these multiple phones and stuff, you'd be surprised at what we already have and what people have turned over. Now, yes, some of these people that she's talking to are talking shit about other people as well. But it's proof that Katie Joy is actually communicating with other third parties about individuals that I'm going to make public, about other individuals, and she's slandering them. So we're going to turn this information over to these individuals and let them decide whether or not they want to file a lawsuit. I think it's now on Twitter. I think somebody said that I'm funding, whatever this new lawsuit is. I forget the guy's name, Steve, that I'm funding his lawsuit. Never met Steve. Don't know Steve. Have not funded his lawsuit. Have no desire to fund his lawsuit. I look at it this way. If you're going to sue somebody, you need to have the pocket to be able to back it up. I'm suing you, Katie, because I've got the money. I'm going to back it up. This bullshit where she posts that I wear $3,000 pajamas. It'd probably shock her if I said I didn't wear any at all. So another lie, but she's going to get to prove everything that she has said about Todd Chrisley or Todd Chrisley's family. She's either going to prove it or she's going to acknowledge that she lied, which therefore she defamed me and my family. I don't care about your sources anymore because the only source you have is one. We know who that one source is now. We have the phone records. We have messages. We know who the one source is. We're not trying to extort Katie for her to tell on Lindsay. It's already been told. Katie's already told it through multiple videos that her source was Lindsay. She's already given that up. So it's just stupid, the things that she says, not sitting for a deposition. She's not going to do this. She's going to do exactly what the court says she's going to do. and they will order her to sit for the deposition. So I'm not going to get on Twitter anymore and waste my time on something like that, because at the end of the day, ignorance is bliss, and that's where she resides. So, everything comes out in the wash. That's what's going to happen. I would encourage people that truly want to know the truth. Don't go to trash rags like that site, because there's nothing truthful coming out of it. This woman makes a living, folks, off of harming other people, off of lying about other people. That's what she does. And at the end of the day, we shouldn't be rewarding that. I mean, she's going to the FBI. She's not going to the FBI about this because, folks, there's been no crime committed. Just like there's been there is no open investigation with the FBI about a sex tape. Here's the thing about a sex tape. I've never had a sex tape, never seen the sex tape. And now it's coming out that there was no sex tape. Guess who says that, folks? Katie Joy. In a video, Katie Joy says that the friend said there was no sex tape, but it doesn't matter anyway. Well, yeah, it does kind of matter, because if you're using a sex tape to extort and blackmail someone, you'd actually need to have that tape, or you don't have any leverage. So that just never happened. But yet here she is backing up a story, a narrative that was given to her to push an agenda. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's all going to come out in the wash. There are so many lies that this woman has told that her story the more she talks and the more she tweets, the more my side is thrilled with it. The more the side of, I saw on Twitter where there's, multiple other people that are looking at hiring attorneys to file suit against her. I look forward to that. If there is anything that my legal team can do to assist anyone else who has gone through what we have gone through at the hands of Katie Joey, then I will make our attorneys available to your counsel to turn over what we have, that if it can assist you. So we're here to assist anyone who has been harmed by Katie Joey. Now, my social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter have blown up with people sending me stuff. From past to present, to people that was in Katie's life 6 years ago, to people that's in her life today, to people that they socialize with. I mean, so many things that people are sending us. I can't even, when I tell you, it's not an exaggeration, folks. They had to clean out my Instagram box yesterday because I had so many messages that had reached capacity. That's how many people out there have been wronged or have a bad taste in their mouth because of the harmful way that Katie Joy does her business. So it's disgusting. It's appalling. And, I learned something years ago. You don't wrestle with a pig, because if you do, you're going to get muddy. And guess what, folks? The pig loves mud. So I'm going to try to stay out of the ditch, away from the pig and the mud, and I'm going to try to take the high road, and I'm going to let my attorneys do what they do best, and that is exposing crimes that have been committed or actions that have been committed against me and my family that were wrongful and that there's liability towards. That's what I'm going to let them do. So, me saying that Katie is delusional, that's my opinion. That's not slander. That's not defamation. Me saying that Katie is deranged, that's not slanderous. That's not defamation. That's my opinion. So hopefully they'll figure out the true definition of slander and defamation. But with that being said, I've talked enough about it. I've given it enough time. I'm not going to be engaging on all this mess with Twitter. If there is something that requires a response from me, then I will make that response. But if you are looking for assistance from me or my team, I want to understand something too. I want everyone to understand something. Katie says that she had a hearing and that someone hacked into or someone gave a password out for people to be able to go on video and hear, her hearing or whatever. Again, she doesn't know the law. Courtrooms are open to the public unless the judge seals that courtroom. The judge didn't seal that courtroom. It was open. All you had to do was register or call in to, all you had to do was to call in and make sure you were going to have a spot on there. You can't stop people from coming into the courtroom unless the judge closes it, and he did not close it. So again, just more rhetoric, just more BS, just something else to put out there to deflect from what is actually coming at her. The fact is that she now has a lawsuit that has been filed against her in her home state and its proper venue. The fact is that there are multiple other lawsuits outside of mine that I have been told and that we have been told are coming her way. And those are going to happen within the next 15 to 20 days based off of what we've been told. Folks, I'm saying based off of what we've been told. My lawsuit is coming within the next 30 to 40. Well, it might be a little bit longer than that because we're going to depose her. So once her deposition is complete, at that point is probably when we will actually file our federal lawsuit against her. We will also, any advertisers that have been used or that have bought ad time on these videos that were slanderous and defaming, we're going to notify those advertisers of the slander and defamation that has taken place, and if they are in support of that, because that would expand our lawsuit. So, there's multiple things that we've got in the works right now and that are going to be, I think rather revealing when it actually comes out. So with that being said, folks, let's jump to things that are really more important, and that is the people that tune into Chrisley Confessions every week.